What's good? What's good? What's good? Hoping this work. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me. Right now, I'm about to interview my brother, Cletus. Here we go. Let me see if it worked. All right, we live. We lit.
What's going on, my bro?
You
know the face, y'all know the name. Come on.
What's good? All right, y'all.
I'm here, bro.
It's Wednesday. What is it, the 23rd? Wednesday the 23rd, the day before Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? It's a Penny for Your Thoughts podcast with your boy Verdell. This is actually episode 18 of A Penny for Your Thoughts. It's a very special episode. I got a very special guest with me. My brother from New York City, from Staten Island to be exact. My brother Cletus.
Yes, sir.
Let's go, man.
Y'all know that.
Let me go down memory lane real quick and tell y'all how I met this brother. So pretty much, they had the sickle cell auction / talent show pretty much at UB. And it was actually my second time performing in it. So Cletus was actually a host that night. And after I performed my song Talent. He literally kept repeating my song the rest of the night. He's like, she's talented. Like,
don't know where the talent is. Oh, girl, because you know you talented. That's just tough.
Yeah, so this was like 2016, 2017. I can't remember. It was one of them years. And so after that, like, I had got his number because he was just a mad cool brother that, you know, I was happy to have met. I got his number and we became cool. He was throwing parties, you know what I'm saying? He threw a lot of college parties at UB. He did the reggae versus soca in Niagara Falls and stuff. And I just, you know, kept in contact with him, you know what I'm saying? He was a good, solid dude. And when I was actually working on my next single, I kept him in mind because I'm like, yo, this dude, he the nigga with the energy, you know what I'm saying? Like, he know everybody know him, you know what I'm saying? He very popular. I'm like, let me see if I can get him on his record, even if he just talk on it and host it like DJ Khaled. And he actually, you know what I'm saying, went and wrote a whole verse. And you know what I'm saying? The record ended up being Leaving With Me. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know that, check that out. That's still on my YouTube, and it's also on the Immaculate tape, which is why he's here to talk today. So, yeah, moving things forward, he's working on releasing music. He has Immaculate Music Group, right?
Immaculate Music. It's just a collective. We ain't put the group on it yet.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you straight. Yeah, so he has Immaculate Music, and he dropped his debut project for Immaculate Music. And so I actually heard it today for the first time. I really liked it. I like the blend of the records. You know, me as an R&B cat, I ain't know it had all that street hip hop in it. I really liked the song London Drip. That joint was hard. Yo, I don't know who that girl was. What's her name?
Sav J. Chef Savannah
J.
John, to be exact. Yes.
Yeah,
she's opened up a restaurant in London and everything. So shout out to her.
She's a star. I'm gonna say this. She's a star. I don't know her. I don't know her well, but from what I heard on that record, I feel like she's a star. She really stood out to me. No knock on any of the any of the other artists that was on the project because everybody was fired. Everybody brought their hair game, but she was something different. The dude that rapped on the first song, he kind of sounded like J. Cole to me, and I really like that one too. And then also, you already know I like what's her name, Kendall? Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Kendall's lit.
Yeah, she's lit.
So you said, I mean, cut you off. You said, so are you talking about the first song, the intro, or the first song after the intro?
The first song after the intro.
Yoso's him. Yoso been him. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was spitting. Yeah, those were like a couple of the standouts to me, but y'all definitely check it out. I don't got it yet, but I'm gonna link the album in my bio, so y'all can just click the bio on my Instagram page and be able to hear the whole project too. But yeah, so without further ado, I'm sorry, I'm giving y'all an earful, but let me let my guests talk. So tell me about the making of Immaculate Music and your vision for the collective and also the album and everything. Tell me how that all came together.
No, most definitely. And before I even go into that, I just want to say I want to big you up, give you mad flowers, because like I said, you are like always my first. And I know it sounds a little crazy, but like first time I recorded in the studio was with you. Like first time ever recording on an actual record. Like, well, I want to say my first time, but like my first like, oh, this is our official record that's going to come out on. Like that was with you. You know what I mean? The first time I've ever really, put together a project. You're on the project. You know what I'm saying? Like just a lot of firsts. So I just want to say thank you for my first interview as an artist or on the other side of things with you. So thank you. So Immaculate Music is just like I said, it's a collective. It's not a label yet. More so because like when you think about how labels do business, you have to have a certain amount of money, funding, resources to position artists a certain type of way. And then also we know that with labels, that they're known for having really predatory like agreements and conditions to them, to artists and the music that they create. So for me, I didn't want to go that approach when it came to making music with people that I respect and I know. And just I didn't want to mismanage anyone's talent that way. I just felt that wouldn't be fair to them. So for me, it was more so creating a space where all these really dope creators could come and let's just put together a really good project, and then let me leverage whatever resources, relationships, and knowledge and connections I have to basically help prepare them. And then the way the goal of this is more partnerships. Because another thing with everyone I work with, they all have like their own labels, they all have their own, people that they're part of, their own associations, et cetera, et cetera. And 9 out of 10 times, it's not like they need, it's not like they need money solely. Sometimes it's like they already have a lot of those things already in place. They just need more support, resources of people who, come with great energy around their creative processes. So that's basically what I wanted to create. Like James III said, like creating a place where evil can't dwell. Like that's basically what the whole Immaculate Music is about. And then the concept behind the Immaculate Tape was just more so being able to put myself first in some capacity. So the reason why the tape came together was because I've been sitting on a lot of records for a long time. Like if anyone knows me, like a lot of folks don't know, but I'm classically trained. Like I play instruments. Like I actually play like the saxophone, like really well.
I did not know that.
A lot of people wouldn't know that.
Dropping bombs for me right now.
Come on, it's a penny for your thoughts.
So
right?
What instruments you play?
So I play the sax, both alto and tenor.
Okay.
I play the trombone. I was learning the keys at a time. And then I'm also one of those like recorder kids that used to always be in the in the band that played the recorder. So I was a recorder kid too. So like, and then you gotta think like my family is like real musical. Like my sister is really, she can sing. My mom always had us in the church. So it was never a thing of music. Even my pops,
That's
like
crazy,
he has,
man.
Yeah, like you just wouldn't know because like you wouldn't know. Most people don't associate that side of me with who I am.
Yeah, this dude is a whole band geek.
Yeah,
for real, man. I same way. I mean, I didn't play instruments, but I was in all the choirs and choruses. Come through high school, I was classically trained. I did music theory, but I had no idea, man. That's crazy. What I did see in you, though, not that I doubt it, but I definitely saw. Like I said, I saw you have a personality that I find like magnetic. Like you draw people to you. You make people feel very invited and very welcomed, and you just like you got this entertainer in you that's like I'm saying, like you got a little bit of let me see, like I mean it really ain't nobody that compares to you, but I'm saying if I was to say it was like somebody, it's like Diddy / like DJ Khaled, but then you got your own lane too, where it's like you're not really like anybody. But and then it's also you got that New York City vibe that you bring, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I was like, yo, man, I got to get this guy on the record. And we make the right record. Maybe we could get it played in some of the parties and stuff like. That was my whole mindset at the time.
Shout out to Superb Vibrations. Shout out to I don't mean to be doing all these promos and that, but I gotta support
that's what we're
all
here for, man.
I'm supporting all the black businesses, bro. That's one thing about me. I'm an entrepreneur first. Shout out to Web Infusions.
Is that their drink?
This is my homegirl's cannabis infused wine. I'm not a big cannabis person. Like I don't, that's not what I promote all the way. But she's a sister. Her family, is a black family. They do a lot of great things, and I'm just trying to support anybody who's, young, black, talented, gifted, trying to make things happen. So that's just what I'm on. But yeah, I'm listening to you, bro. My apologies.
No, you straight. You got any plugs? You know what I'm saying? You go ahead. Good thing, man.
We could do that throughout the show because I got too many. It's gonna be
That's a
bad.
fact. That's a fact, man. But yeah, man. So first of all, I mean, we talked about some of the like the reason for you putting together this collective, and we talked about your musical backgrounds. Tell me about the process of making the project itself. What all went into that, and what kind of like sparked that for you?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, Immaculate Music and the Immaculate Taste specifically, it was interesting because I didn't plan on putting it out at all. And the
Mm.
tape that everyone is hearing is not the tape that I heard every day for the last 6 months, or yeah, about the last 6 months or so, right? So when it came to the Immaculate Tape basically, like I said, started off as a project where I was like, you know what, I myself need to put myself first. And when I say put myself first, like I've been going to therapy, I've been doing a lot of different things just to make sure I'm being good because these last like 2-3 years have been really, really hectic. Just outside of just COVID life and just being in all these different spaces, I felt like there was a lot of things that always held me back, and the things that always held me back were other people. Thank you so much, Kennedy. Appreciate you. Shout out to PV. Um, but yeah, like a lot of
It's
things with
love.
always, always, always. We got the greatest people in the world around us right now. But that's basically what it was. It was like I said, I wanted to create a tape where one, I put all the most talented people I know who made music that respected me, that I had relationships with on a project. Two, I wanted to put out something that I enjoy listening to because I always say like the best music or your favorite music would 9 out of 10 be music that you made because it
Uh,
speaks to the things that you're going through. It resonates with the vibrations that you like, and it's the same type of quality that you at the end of the day will appreciate. So for me, it was like I was listening to a lot of music. I didn't really like what I was hearing, and I was like, honestly, like I'm going to put together a good body of work with people that I really care about, respect, and also just not leave stuff on my laptop. Like I feel like people have all
mm.
these like $1 million ideas, concepts, etc., and they leave it either on their laptop or their phone or in some notes. And after a while, I was like, "Yo, nah, Clee, like, why are you holding on to these things? Like, you could pass away tomorrow, and then the world will never get this." So it's like empty the clip. So that's what it was.
Word.
That was this approach. It's like empty the clip, and you know what, Clee? Like, it ain't
I
like
like
you've
that.
always
Hashtag empty the clip, man. That's
have to, have
I'm
to.
a name. Yo, that's the name of this episode, man. Empty the clip.
Got to, bro. Empty the clip and let that bit dump, bro. Because, bro, there's
I
people
like
out
that.
here that like that's not as talented as you, that wasn't as that's not as dope as you, that's doing well. So why not put yourself in the arena? And also, I also made this tape because I noticed that a lot of the people that was on this tape, like a lot of the artists that I work with, they were in like these really interesting spots. They were in like these transitionary periods that they're either doing music anymore, or they're not doing anymore, or they don't know what's going on and everything. And I feel like they just needed a spark as well. Like they needed a reason to get back in that arena and get back in the game when it came to their music. So it was kind of like, Cletus, like just go, just go. You know what I mean? Just go. So that's what it
Mm.
was. So I put it out. But the basic, like you said, like the process of it, a lot of these songs are old songs, as you can tell. As you know, Leaving With Me, when did we record that? 2017?
Yeah, yeah.
So Leaving Me was done 2017. The intro
I
song,
think it still fits in today's sound, though.
we make timeless music.
Yeah.
That's the difference between what we're hearing on the radios and all this microwavable music ain't hitting because it's not meant to be timeless. Like what we did was take
Right.
our time and put together a timeless project.
Take
So
our time.
take your time was a big record that was supposed to be on the album. Like I said, if you guys heard the album I heard, it's a completely different album. That's why it's like I'm glad everyone likes this album because I knew it was gonna be a good project. But the album I hear every day in my house is a completely different album that you guys. Like the original Immaculate Tape was like 26 records.
Mm.
It was like 26 records. Like you got to think. There's an
So
there's
they
an
gotta
after
look
the
out for part two.
without a doubt. Because
Mm.
so man, I got because I feel like I have to run the whole thing, but basically, let me just run it real quick just to answer your first question. The process of the tape was basically I had gotten a bunch of songs from a bunch of different artists. I reached out to all my friends,
Right.
family, people that I make music with, people I respect, people that respect me, producers, rappers, everything. Everybody who's on the tape for the most part, every record was cleared. It wasn't like we had to pay for features. Like this is all family ties for real. It was a bunch of text messages and calls. Like I put it out like on socials, like, hey, I'm putting together a tape. if you guys want to be a part of it, send me your record. And then shout out to everyone who, shout out to Yoso, shout out to Femi Rexon, DJ Femi Rexon, shout out to Teddy Rogers. You obviously, we had a couple records together, etc., etc. So it was more like a couple of conversations, and folks were just sending me records. So once they sent me the records, I listened to them a lot, and then I realized like, okay, like certain records I'm gonna have to cut, certain records I'm gonna have to mix and master. So like everyone's records were not so much unfinished, but there was a lot of like various things that they might have not heard that I was hearing. Like there's like so if, like, for example, London Drip was produced by James III. It wasn't mixed and mastered, but the thing with London, like it had like a soft mix, but it wasn't completely mixed and mastered the way that Sav liked it. So what I did was I was listening for like a bass line. So I brought the bass line up heavy. Like that's why it bounces a little bit, like that doom 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 doom. Like I needed to hear that more, for the intro. Obviously I did my intro over, but that was Femi. Shout out to Fems So Cool. That was his original record. Like this is his record, but I chopped it and then I did my intro, and then he didn't finish his second verse. There was a whole other verse, but it was unfinished, and I couldn't really get on that part of the verse. So what I did was just make it the intro, because I felt like and originally that record was called Patiently Waiting. So Patiently Waiting to me was like, that's fire, because I feel like when it comes to success, life, everything we're pursuing, especially in the fourth quarter, like it's like you're always patiently waiting for your moment to come. So for me, I changed it to impatiently waiting, or I am patiently waiting. The triple entendre, because it was like, I'm patiently waiting, I am patiently waiting, but it's also like impatiently waiting. Like I'm tired of waiting. Like I'm tired. Like I'm fed up. Like you ever hear like Drake just be like, that's how this project felt for me. It was like, okay, you know what? A lot of people have been talking. A lot of people have been feeling that type of way about a lot of things. A lot of people say they're these and that and all that. And it's like, I'm just tired. Like, Cletus, like, what are you waiting for? Because now I'm at a position in my life where it's like everyone or a lot of people around me, it's like they expect me to just do things. And I'm just like, I got my own things that I got to worry about too. But my life isn't built like that. Like my life isn't just, yo, Cletus, worry about you. Like it's just not. Like if I only worried about me, I'd probably be a multi-billionaire living somewhere that no one could find me. Completely, to be quite frank.
I just want to give a quick disclaimer. Shout out to my wife. She is both cooking Thanksgiving dinner and taking care of the kids right now while I'm trying to do this interview. So if y'all hear some yelling, some baby screaming in the background, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Just know
shout out to your wife and your family, bro. Shout out to you, bro. Congratulations. You're living the dream. Honestly, I know that sounds crazy, but to have a beautiful wife, 2 kids, 2 sons at that, bro, that's fucking God, bro. I think that's what this whole thing is about. So you already
my pride and joy, man.
Man,
my pride and joy.
You're doing
it. The tape was solid. Yeah, definitely give it a listen. Like I said, I'm gonna put it in my bio. I also want to apologize. I misspoke earlier. I was calling it Immaculate Music. Immaculate Music is the collective. The tape is called the Immaculate Tape.
But you're not wrong though. But you're not wrong though.
It is immaculate
that shows immaculate music all the way through.
Yeah, and so I don't want to spoil it, but do you got anything else coming up? I kind of mentioned it earlier, but you got any other music coming out? You said you cut some of the songs from the album.
Yeah, so with the project currently is 13 songs with 14 records with 14 tracks, right? The first song, like I said, is Fems, because we have 2 Femis on the team. So there's Fems, who's Femsicle, his name is Femi, with an I, and then there's Femi Rexon, who's a DJ, producer, engineer as well. So Fems, that first record was his song called Patiently Waiting. He sent that to me during COVID, because I met Fems at my store, because at my mom, we own the deli, and Fems is like low-key my neighbor. So he just came in the store, some quiet kid, and I was like, bro, what do you want to do? Like, what is, like, you come in here, I see you. I just started asking him questions, like, what are you trying to do? He's like, bro, I really want to do music. So we started working on records. So a couple of those records from those series that we worked on was Patiently Waiting, Final Flight. There's a song called Strawberry Moscato Part 1 and Part 2 that never came out. What other records came out of that session? Oh, Not the Same. Not the Same was also from that session, because he was also like my engineer. He was recording everything. So that was fem. So me and him was locked in, and then after that, I went away to do my PhD. And then while I was away, he was interning, and he just became a better engineer, better producer, better everything. And then we came back, and he actually was the one that engineered a lot of the project, a lot of the songs. So any song that I'm on outside of Leaving With Me, he engineered it. Like he engineered it, he cleaned it up, he mixed and mastered it. So the second record was Yoso. So Yoso is an artist from Leesville, Louisiana. To me, Yoso is probably one of the most talented people I've ever met. And if you sit in the studio with Yoso, it's even crazier because he's one of those people that will have 8 to 9 layers on his vocals and will know what each layer is there for, what each sound is supposed to do, and so on and so forth. And I met him while I was at Grambling working on my master's. And the thing with Yoso is like he was a part of like a labels, and he was in and out of a lot of bad label deals. So for me, just being able to be someone he trusted was a big deal with his music. You know, like he hasn't put out music in a long time because he had a project that he wanted to put out called Mobs in 2017, 2018. That probably would have changed his entire life. And basically what held it up was the engineering aspect of it. So he never released it. And because it's not perfect, he's one of those people that if it's not perfect, he's not putting it out. So
for that a lot, man.
And
I
it's
definitely
unfortunate.
understand the struggle.
And I get it. I get it. But it's unfortunate because someone like him, you know, that's just not fair to him. You know, because if you know him, it's to understand like he's really like that man don't write no more. Like that Arrogance record, he didn't write that. He just went in the booth and put that out.
Word.
Yes.
I had no idea. So he like that. I didn't know he's cut from that club. That's that Jay-Z, Lil Wayne.
Yoso is him.
That's that level.
Yoso is him. Like I like that's what. And like I want to run through the whole thing if you give me that space. I know you have questions, but I'm gonna try to just run through it. Even the third record is High Fashion. That's Bally Kai. A lot of people don't know Bally was a part of Astro Gang, and the Astro Gang was a group that Lil Snoop, who was part of Dream Chasers, started. That he was a part of. So you talking about Lil Snoop from Dream Chasers from Jonesboro, Louisiana, that got signed to Meek Mill. Yes, rest in peace. Family ties. He was supposed to change him and the entire Astro Gang's life, and Bally was the youngest member at the time of Astro Gang. So meeting Bally also is cut from that freestyle cloth, but he's also like one of those people that his energy is infatuating. So with Bally, I kind of was like his manager at the time, and I kind of executive produced Back with Bally, one of his like breakout albums, in my opinion. To this day, I think it's my favorite album. Not because I executive produced it and helped out a lot with it in terms of track lists and stuff like that, but just the quality of the project was just a different level. So Bally, when he came out with High Fashion, you know, that's the only track he sent me. He's like, I'm gonna just send you this, tell me what you think. And I'm like, High Fashion is perfect. Because I also felt like with High Fashion, what he was saying with that is that's like you could be young, talented, lit, and dope and have vices and that and it's all about your taste. Like you say you want to feel good, then cop you some High Fashion. Like if you live a high lifestyle, you smoke with a passion. That's what it is. Like we young, talented, lit, dope individuals. We have our vices. We talented, and we trying to change our family's dynamics, and we doing it through our circumstances. So that's why that was such a big record. And just to touch on Arrogance real quick again, Arrogance was a big record because I feel like you have to have a little bit of arrogance when you put out when you do stuff like music, because everyone thinks they the hottest shit. Everyone thinks your shit is that shit. So you have to have a little level of arrogance because if you don't, people will dead take advantage of your talent and what you bring to the table. So for me, like Impatiently Waiting made perfect sense to go there. Then after that, Arrogance, because that's what it was. We wanted to let niggas know off the walk and like, listen, Immaculate Music is better than everybody else, like comfortably speaking. And we're not saying this because it's arrogance. It's because it's fact. And honestly, because we have to say it. Because if we don't say it, motherfuckers will not listen. Like, motherfuckers will just treat us like we some regular-ass people. And it's like, no, we not regular. We never been regular. It's just we humble. And we busy. And we got real shit to worry about outside of being lit. Like, this shit is natural to us. So when you see us when we pop out, it's that. The fourth track, so after Bally, like we said, because Bally is amazing. Bally is like one of my favorite people. And I love Bally because of just his energy. He's such a positive person. He's always like if you in the studio with Bally will make you better. Like there's no such thing as being negative around Bally. Like Bally is just not that person. Like being negative around Bally shows that you're a bad vibe. So, you know, that's what made that so special. And shout out to Mover for that. Mother for that. But that's what Bally brought to the table. And then after that we had Teddy Rogers, so Slime, Vulture, King, whatever you want to call him. Teddy Rogers is like a person that, he's from Jackson, Mississippi. There's not a lot of people to come out of Jackson, Mississippi. You're talking about like folks is going through hell, didn't have clean water. He's from the
Right.
country. Like he's a real back road homie. Like you gotta go through Jackson to go down to New Orleans or to go to Atlanta. So when you listen to that type of record and you hear that record, it sounds like he's not saying stuff, or it may sound very hard for you to really grasp, but he's really talking about a lot of stuff. And he's talking about a lot of
So
like.
was this did you meet this brother when you were at Grambling too?
So yeah, that's a funny part.
Okay.
So after Fems, everyone from that first 4 records, so it was Fems and me for the intro, then Patiently Waiting. Then after that, it was Arrogance. I met him from Louisiana at Grambling because we all worked in the studio together, and I was managing the studio at the time. A lot of people don't know that.
I
Then
did not
after,
know that.
yeah, I was managing the studio,
I
and I
didn't
was
even know.
managing
Okay.
the person who owned the studio, and then with me managing the person who owned the studio, I was managing all the artists coming in and out of the studio. So I'm in sessions, and I was working on my master's thesis while in these sessions. So shout out to D Jack, shout out to Trap, shout out to Cinco, shout out to Mensa, shout out to the whole family ties. Like we ran deep, and it was just a special time. So yeah, like that's what that was. And then also, so like I said, Yoso from Leesville, Louisiana, Bally from Jonesboro, Louisiana, Zone 4 to be exact. Then right after Bally was Teddy Rogers from Jacksonville, Mississippi. Really technically Terry, but Jacksonville, Mississippi. And like I said, that's family ties as well. We had a radio show together. And then after that was my bro Ferran from Chicago. So that No Violence record to me is probably one of the hardest records on that tape. One of the hardest records on that tape. And I felt like it was perfectly placed because everything, like you said, was real trap, real hood, real heavy. But I felt like there had to be a reason for it. And the reason was that when you have all these people from these places and they're all going through different things in different places, like everyone was speaking about what it was like from where they're from. So
Right.
Leesville, like for him being from Leesville, like yeah, it's still hood, but you have to be arrogant. From Bally being from Jonesboro, Louisiana, Zone 4, yeah, like this is the country. This is real back roads, but you know what? We have our own swag. This is high class, like we country folk, but this is high class country. Then you got my bro Teddy Rogers from Jackson. He's from the back roads. Like that's what he do. He run the back roads. So that's a big deal. And he was telling that story. Like that's what it is. Hoes gonna be, like he's like bitch is not bisexual. Like that's just what it like. They gonna tell you like Twitter and tequila. That's why we call it that, because he's on Twitter. He's a real Twitter guy, and he'll tell you like what's going on Twitter. So that's what made that a point. And then after that, it was No Violence. My bro's from Chicago, Ferran. I can't tell Ferran's story, but he has a really important story. And what he's been able to do, not only for himself, his family, and a lot of other young black men, he's really the definition of a distinguished black man. Like he is, like, you got to understand the story of Chicago. Like you talking about Al Capone, you talking about the mob, like you talking about mafia talk. Like that's a real thing. Like that's Chicago. That's a part of their DNA. So, make sure that we had that conversation on there was definitely important to bring that to that perspective. And then after that, we have my bro James Battle, who was my first radio show host ever in the booth in Buffalo, as you know, and as the interlude. But we could keep going. I'm gonna just let you continue to ask questions because we could talk all day about just the tape.
I wanted you to just be able to get your stuff off. You was going through the tracks and stuff, and going through the different artists. So now it's like, I mean, not that we have the pictures, but it's like you putting faces to the different tracks and the names. But yeah, man. Nah, you told me this too. You said once you listen to it, you're gonna feel like motivated and ready. And I had that feeling when I heard it, and I'm having it again just hearing you talk about it, man. It's crazy. I did not know you was managing the studio. So to me, it's like, and I didn't even realize this, but I didn't even realize it. I thought you was just like you was on your path to success with getting your degrees and everything, and at the same time you was making sure you was the dude throwing the parties and stuff. Like to me, like you really do kind of got like that Diddy thing going, because Diddy did that with Howard back in like the late '80s, early '90s, and then he transferred his juice from Howard to going to Uptown. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you kind of taking a similar route and stuff. Not to say you biting or anything. You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? Just to get in our culture, we use who we got as as our like, you know what I'm saying, our goals and stuff. Um,
Nah, what I would say is, what people need to understand, especially about success, is that success leaves clues. And if you want to be successful, it ain't always just you being popping and you being fly. Like you got to understand what it takes to be successful, and you also got to learn from the mistakes of others. So for me, when I put this project together, of course I studied Diddy. I studied Baby. I studied um, Master P. Jay Prince's Family Ties. We met Jay Prince. We showed him a lot of love. When we was at the G,
what?
and Jay Prince fuck with us heavy. Shout out to Little Jay and all of them, the whole Family Ties. Like that mob tie shit,
Yeah,
like they're really good people.
Jazz Prince signed Drake. In case you ain't know, I mean
Yeah,
he managed Drake, excuse me, and
yeah, he was
discovered
the
Drake.
one that bridged that gap between him and Wayne. So
Exactly.
like success leaves clues. So for me, it was always just understanding the stories and the narratives. Like I'm a big Dame fan. Like I love Dame Dash.
Hmm.
I love what he stands for. I study
Right.
Kanye. Anybody who really, had a label, even if we talking about like what was going on in Miami, like Uncle Luke and Luke Records and all of them brothers in Miami,
Slip
you
and
know what I mean?
slide.
Like
Yeah.
Slip and Slide Records, yeah. So like and Rick Ross, me and Ross got the even similar beard, baldy combination going on, gut.
Hmm.
So when I
Right.
study greatness, Master P, Dr. Dre, um, I love the Bay, so Mac Dre, um, or even like when Tupac was messing with Humpty Dumpty and all of them.
Digital
So,
Underground. Yep.
yep. And then you got to also understand I'm from New York. So New York is a weird place because there's so many different pockets in New York. So you got
It's
to
a
think like I
boiling
came
pot. Yeah.
without a doubt. So I came up under like Busta Rhymes, but 50,
Hmm.
and Fab is like one of my favorite rappers. Wale is my favorite out of DC. But then we just talking New York. You're talking about Dipset when they ran New York for a brief moment. Um, DMX. So when you just know music, bro, and you just know culture and you pay attention, it's just a matter of time at that point. You got to do
That's
something
facts.
about it. You can't just sit here and
See,
listen and not do nothing.
that's when you gotta empty that clip.
Have to dump the whole drum.
Facts, man. Nah, man, I'm just so excited about this conversation. I'm excited to have you on my platform, man.
It's you, bro.
Let's keep it going. Um, Dang, I'm a little flustered now. My excitement just took over me. But oh yeah. So what's some of the other stuff you got? Wait, that question later. First thing, what we're not gonna do is we're not gonna breeze over the fact that you said you were in a PhD program.
Hmm.
So are you like Dr. Cletus now?
Not yet, not yet. But
Not
I
yet, not yet.
teach,
Okay, you
I
still
teach, I
pursuing
teach,
it.
I teach out of college. I taught at Howard briefly while I was pursuing my PhD. I'm teaching at ASA College right now. They're going through a transitionary period as well. Yeah, like I'm a nerd, bro. Like I feel like one of the things that if I ever like, if God forbid anything ever happens to me, I want people to really like take away from my life. It's like, yo, education is sexy. Like,
Right.
being educated is sexy. Like, I don't know why people be
Mm-hmm.
acting like they'll look at you like, yo, you're not a nerd. They're like, you're like, I'm a whole nerd, bro. Like, I've always been a nerd. Like, I've never not
Right.
done well in school. Like, that's how I was raised. And for me, education is sexy, bro. Like, being entrepreneurial is sexy. So that's what it always been for me. So yeah,
Where's
like,
your
no, I'm
family
not.
from again?
We
Are you
Nigerian.
Nigerian?
Hmm.
Nigerian? Yeah, so you got the Nigerian parent thing, right? They
Hmm.
like push you. It's like you get a 99. They like, well, where's the other point?
Without a
The
doubt,
100.
without a
Yeah.
doubt. But
I feel
but
that. I feel that.
my parents were never really super supportive of me doing like music and stuff like that. Like they love me
Hmm.
doing music if it's for church. They
Right.
love me doing music for like band in school, you
Hmm.
know. But if I was like, I want to be a rapper, I don't think they would be like, no, you can't do it. But they would look at me like I was mad. They would look at me
Right.
like I was crazy, So yeah, bro. Not like for me, it's just we work. That's what it is. It's like you gotta understand what you getting yourself into. Like my cousin, he rap. Me and him have a lot of conversations about it. On what it looks like to be a rapper and what the industry looks like. So for me, it's just like I said, like
Right.
it's one thing to be always talking from the sideline. Like you gotta think, I was always everyone's manager. I was always everyone's business consultant. I was always everyone's like social media person. I was always everyone's do this for the track list, help me get my graphics, help me do this. But I was never the guy to be in the booth. But I can rap better than some of the people that I was helping. You know, so
Wow,
it was kind
talking
of like,
shit.
yeah, nah, it was true. They know, they'll tell you. They're like, yo, Cletus is that. Cletus built. There's videos of me freestyling. There's people will tell you, but it's the fact that it matter. Like for me, I never really wanted to be the rapper.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just didn't see
Speaking
the
of
hype for it.
which,
Mm-hmm.
my bad to cut you
No,
off.
you
But
good?
speaking of which, another song that stuck out to me. I think it was called, was it Thraka or Thraka? Yo, wasn't
Liraka,
that you?
yeah,
That was you spitting, right?
yeah.
So how did that come together? Because I don't even know what that means, but that shit sounded crazy too. That J sounded fire. I like that one too. That Thraka J.
You
How did
funny
that
as
come
hell.
together?
Oh, so you know it's funny. A lot of people actually like that record. I think people gonna fuck with it. For me,
Nah, I
so
like it.
I've
Nah,
always
it's
been
a
into
keeper.
that shit. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Mm.
I'm from Staten Island. Staten Island got a lot of Puerto Ricans and Dominicans, low key, high key, like high key, low key, like real. Like we got a lot of Dominicans, a lot of Puerto Ricans, a lot of like, you know. So for me, like I know how to bachata, I know how to salsa, I know dembow. Like I really know like Omega is my nigga, like Don Chivez, like that's my man. It's like I listen
Mm-hmm.
to El Gran Combo, like I'm a music head. So it's like, you know, it was like, all right, we already had this record, and you gotta think that Taraka record is like I made that song before I made Leaving With Me. I recorded Taraka, like the majority of Taraka, like that entire shit. I recorded it probably a week before, like probably like 2 or 3 months before we got in the studio.
Word.
Because you
I
remember I
had
had
no
my little
idea.
studio all set up in the crib.
Mm-hmm. Oh
So
yeah,
I had
you
my
did. You did.
so I had my little studio set up in the crib. Shout out to my bro Robin. He was moving. He got a new job, so he was like, "Yo, I'll sell you my entire studio set for $300. Mic stand, keys, everything." I said, "Fuck it, let's do it."
Nice.
And at the time,
That's a
I had
deal.
the money from the parties. Yeah, at the time I had the money. I had a light kit. I had a lot of stuff. So for me, it was more like, all right, let me get this beat, and then I just made it. And I didn't think anything of it. I never put it out. It was supposed to be a joke. And then one day I came back to it. I was like, nah, this shit is hard. And you gotta think
Now,
the
at
beat
first, I thought it was a joke. I was like, "What is this nigga doing?" He said, "I'm joining." You said you joining Africa and DR, right?
bringing Nigeria to
And
Dominican Republic.
Nigeria,
That's
yeah.
facts.
And
Yeah.
then once you started spitting, I was like, wait a second, wait, what did you just say? You know what I mean? It was one of them moments where I was like, wait, hold on. I think we got something here.
Everything every day is the fourth quarter, bro.
Fact, man. That's a fact. That's another one, man. That's one I think you should do something with it. Like, put something behind it, maybe shoot a video, you know what I'm saying? Or at least just you know what I'm saying, put out some a visualizer for it or something, you know what I'm saying? Push that joint. That one is hot. That's a hot one.
I appreciate you. I mean, like, still, you gotta
Just my
think the
little
tape.
2 cents, you know what
Nah,
I'm
nah, nah.
saying?
I trust you, bro. It's you. You a
Mm,
student. That's like I am. That's why we gravitate together. Like that's why Immaculate Music is special. Everyone
mm,
here is a nerd. Everyone here is an outcast. Everyone here is super unique, but they are talented. Like there's nobody a part of this project that's a bum. You gotta think. Take Your Time was supposed to be on this project, right? Miles B
mm,
produced Take Your Time. Miles B is
mm.
now writing for Chris Brown. Miles
Nah, that's
B
crazy.
is about to
Shout out to
probably
Miles
get a
B.
grant. You got to think. I could tell you how Take Your Time came about. Remember, I went to link up with Miles because Miles at the time wanted a manager, and Miles and managers do not go hand in hand. Like Miles B, he'll
Mm.
tell you he does not fuck with managers at all. Like he don't do it. But at that time, and I also met
I had a
Miles
rough
B.
running with managers myself, so that's another thing that I can relate to.
Miles B does not fuck with managers. Like he hates them niggas. Like he does not want to
Mm,
have one. So for me, when it came to Miles, Miles was like, I want you to manage me. And also I met Miles during the sickle cell auction vibes as well. So
right.
he invited me over to just listen to music, work on some records and all that. And then I was like,
Mm,
bro, like my man Verdell, he's not too far away. And I think you just had hit me. So yeah, tell him pull up. So we all pulled up and then we worked on Take Your Time. And then I finished Take Your Time recently. But yeah, bro, like that's what it is. It's just constant collaboration and bringing the best people together that all I feel makes sense to be in the same room together.
mm,
That's gonna respect each other and respect each other's artistry because I know for a fact that Verdell can sing in 3 or 4 different octaves. And you can't be in no studio with Verdell if you're not able to deal with a nigga that sings with 3 to 4 different octaves. So you talking about to a nigga that's like going super low, but then all of a sudden he hitting high notes that shake your whole crib. You, unless your family is
mm.
okay with that or used to that, you can't bring a nigga like that to
My
your crib.
family not even okay with it, man. Yo, I'll tell y'all some stories. I mean, this is all about Cletus, but I'm gonna just tell y'all something that's real entertaining real quick. So, when Michael Jackson died, I like went deep into the Michael Jackson vault, and it's crazy because shout out to Chris Brown, they was about to do the Michael Jackson joint for the AMAs, and they shut it down.
Yeah,
I
fuck the
think they should
AMAs.
still do that. Yeah, we do it on our own platform, so do it for Soul Train or BET. But anyways, I used to get in my Michael Jackson bag, and I would do Billie Jean and do all these different performances. And my room was on the second floor, and I had this like big it was like the TV room, but it was pretty much I made it my bedroom. I had my own microphone stand,
Yo,
but I
Verdell,
would
real
be
quick. I don't mean to
moonwalking
cut you
for
off.
hours.
Yo, Verdell, I don't mean to cut you off. Yo, Osa, bro, lock in with me. Shout out to you. Shout out to Active Music. Lock in with me. You're my neighbor. I know you heard the Immaculate Tape. Let's get our project done ASAP.
Okay.
Osa, if you're here, if
Getting
you're still
business
here,
done.
yeah, Osa, if you're here, I hope you're still here. I hope you heard it. I heard you. I heard the project. A lot of your songs are on my Immaculate Vibes playlist. We already locked in. Let's get this project done because Osa is my neighbor. Osa is another person. That now has a lot of talent. Osa lives right down the block. There's no reason why we can't
Man,
get a
go to
project.
his house.
And I got Osa number. Because Osa, and I don't mean to cut you off, but Osa runs with like 3 or 4 guys that's family ties to me. Then they all make music, and then there's no zesty. They're all very handsome, strong, Nigerian-looking dudes, right? So, they're going to get all the girls, and they all do like R&B or like Alte Cruz music. Well, all it takes is a good ear. They already have the connections through Active Music, so shout out to Shayun, shout out to my other brother. But it's like, it's one thing to have a good ear, but it's another thing to have immaculate music, immaculate touch, immaculate taste. Like, that's different, and that's what makes us unique. Everyone here has immaculate taste. But I'm sorry, continue the story about you and Michael Jackson.
No, you straight. I just want to say something real quick, too, as a sidebar. Yo, shout out to all the Cletus followers that's tuning in. Y'all showing mad love, and we definitely appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to see more, by the way, the podcast is called A Penny for Your Thoughts. And speaking of which, I also got to hop on. Once I have something to promote, I'm going to hop on. Got to hop on Talk Ain't Cheap. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got nothing to promote yet, though, so I ain't ready. But,
Leaving With Me is your record.
Yeah, but I'm talking about once I got my EP ready and stuff.
Yeah, I'm just glad that you decided to come back into music for real.
No, that's a fact, man. I had to get my life settled. But to make a long story short with the whole Michael Jackson thing, when I used to rehearse, I would go ham and I would do like the entire Michael Jackson discography. And we're talking about, I would do that like every day out of the week. I'll be singing Michael Jackson songs for like 2-3 hours straight, thinking I'm on stage. And my mom would literally be like grabbing a broom and like hitting the ceiling, because I'm on the second floor above her. She like, Dale, you got the floor shaking. You gonna fall through the floor. So I say all that to say this, make a long story short, not even my family could take my singing. So
I'll put it like this. Ever since I was a baby, every Saturday, no later than 8 a.m., bro, I'm hearing Nigerian gospel music blaring. Like, there was no such thing as sleeping in on a Saturday in my home. Never. You are not allowed to sleep in on a Saturday. So, and you got to think, every time we in the car, I'm hearing a lot of, because I'm a Nigerian, but what people don't understand, like, Nigeria is like basically like the United States. Like, it's huge.
Mm-hmm.
So, you meet somebody, they're like, I'm from the South, and they stay on music. Nigeria's like that too. And where I'm from, Nigeria, I'm from the South. I'm from Edo State. So, like, a lot of the people that you meet that are Nigerian, they're usually either Igbo or Yoruba.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that's like East versus West for real. Like, they're from completely different places where I'm from. You know what I mean? So where I'm from, like, I'm Edo. Like, I'm not like Yoruba people. I'm not. And I'm not saying that to say that it's a bad thing, but it's like people don't know that. So what tends to happen is you meet people, they start acting a certain type of way, behaving a certain type of way, not even knowing, like, where I'm from, we don't even behave that type of way. Like, we don't, the type of music that you engage in, we don't even listen to. Like, the type of people who are giants to you, they're giants to us, but they're not the only giants we know. So, like, for me, like, who I came up off of, like, Fela Kuti, but I also came up off of, like, Sir Victor Uwaifo. So when you know that, it's kind of like, you're talking about Sir Victor has, like, over 100 patents, and he had a spinning guitar, and he was a different kind of, like, artist. And then you got to think, I came from Water Park. So all them guitars, and then you got to think every Edo wedding you've ever seen it's always live instrumentation. So, I just came up a little differently. But that side of the story don't really come up because like adult people are very humble people. Like they don't do music. They don't be at clubs. Like that's not what they do. Like they're all doctors, lawyers, engineers for real. Like that whole concept of like becoming a doctor is really adult people who are that. Like that's us. Like they call us the heartbeat of Nigeria for the reason. Like we are the heartbeat of Nigeria. So it's like, yeah, bro. Like for me, I was always just waiting for the right time to be who I need to be and for the right position to do what I wanted to do. Because what I also recognized a long time ago was you can't put yourself in a position to be successful and not be able to handle what comes with it. Like I'm 28, but I've been making music since I was like 13, 11. Real talk. Facts. If you really know, me and my bro, shout out to my nigga Teniola. Me and Tenny have a record. Like we were working on raps when we were young, but I had a conversation with my peoples, and they were like, "Listen, like you have a lot of attention. You know, a lot of people know you, and not everyone who knows you for good things, or not everyone who's your friend is your friend." So that stopped a lot of my growth early, out of fear, because I didn't want nothing to happen to the people I cared about. Not because I wasn't talented, or not because I couldn't rap better than people, or not because I couldn't sing, or I couldn't dance, or I couldn't do none of that. Like if you want to really get deep, there's a reason why I move the way I move. I can't just be fucking anybody for the sake of fucking them. But if you listen to some of my records, that's how it sounds like. That's how I am. That's who I am. Like if you sound like you gotta think not the same. Basically, I call it Dirty Mac anthem because it's not that stuff I heard people say about me. But at the same time, I also felt like, you know what? Let's have a conversation. Like I heard a lot of people say things about me in different places, so I was like, well, me and man, not the same girl. You knew that, so don't you mention me and what he's done because I ain't do that. He talks about you up in a group chat. I don't do that. I make you come in. He can't even try to do that. Girl, I'm major. Girl, that was the preference. Delete his number, girl. You're not even gonna use that. Like unless you throw it back, there's no point to even look back. Yeah, my strokes immaculate, but baby, you already knew that. So it was
already knew that. What track is that? What's the name of that song?
That's not the same. Shout out to my bro Aaron. Ajabal.
Was that was on the tape?
That was the third to last record. So right before Morning Flow, or I call it fourth quarter flow. Shout out to my bro James III. James III had a lot of hands on this project. I'm not gonna lie, like in terms of beats and stuff like that. But that's also because
was he the one that do Yeah Yeah Ooh?
Yes.
See, I'm hot at you because you ain't put that on there.
But you gotta understand, like you're probably one of the few people who have heard the entirety of not the entirety of probably a lot of the roughs, because I didn't mean to, but I sent you all of the roughs. But I
thought you was trying to. Oh, okay.
I was, but at the same time, at that moment, I didn't know if I was gonna put out these records. Yeah. Like I knew.
Well, I ain't gonna leak none of your stuff or nothing like that. I wouldn't do nothing like that.
I don't even. It's all unfinished, so it's like you're not leaking any real records. But yeah. Like,
but I would never drop.
Nah, you a real one. I know, bro. Come on, it's you. But yeah, like the whole concept of like, oh yeah, oh. Like I said, me and James been locked in for a long time. James is one of the people that like has made it very clear that any step of his journey that he's going to, he wants me right there with him. How does he make that clear? I have all of his music. Him and Bally, I think I have all of their music, like all of their older music up until recently. Like up until when I left, I have about like I want to say like maybe 200 to 300 of Bally's records on a hard drive somewhere. And I have about like maybe 6 to 10 projects full of music with James. So, when you locked in with certain people like that, we've made beats together, and same thing with trap. Trap is another one. I have about, I want to say maybe 100, 200 trap beats in my phone, in my computer somewhere.
Right.
So like these are people that I'm really locked in with because like they trust me. You know what I mean? Like I don't got to put these niggas on no contracts. Yeah, maybe down the road we would have to have that conversation for the sake of just like family and legalities and stuff like that. But up until that point when niggas is really seeing money, that conversation is like the last thing, because it's like a level of respect when it came to doing business that I felt like they allowed me to do. Like no one hit my line about splits. No one hit my line about nothing. Everyone legit was like, I just trust that you'll do good business for everybody. And that
By the
meant,
way, I'm gonna need my no.
oh yeah, yeah, you know you're gonna get the, you know you're gonna get your split
No,
now.
no, no, I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you, man. I'm just teasing.
No, but like, but that to me was like the most impactful part of the project, in my opinion, was the fact that everyone kind of was like, "Yo, Cletus, we just trust you." Like there was people that's like, "Yo, bro, you can make $1 billion off the project," and like honestly, we don't care. Like we just want you to see you eat and be well, and that's why we put out the project. The project was because you know what, I had to prove to myself, one, that I could do something, but two, I had to also prove to the people that invested their time, energy, and their talents into me, to show them that, yo, like what you think we're doing or what you think we're not doing, is both true. Like we're doing everything that we can, but at the same time, there's a lot that we're not doing either. And sometimes you need that community, sometimes you need that support, and sometimes you just need to leverage your talents. And that's what the Immaculate Tape did. It leveraged all of that, and that's why that tape is hard. Like I listen to a lot of projects, and I'm not just saying because of my project. I'm like, bro, this project is better than a lot of projects that came out that day. Like King's Disease 3 was good, but I would rather listen to the Immaculate Tape. WizKid's album was good, very good. It was about 4 records on there that really were standouts. But if you're talking about song for song, record for record, intro and down, our tape is way better.
Okay, talk your shit.
No, it's facts. I think the production and engineering obviously is WizKid, but in terms of like song for song and everything, that the entire tape and how it flowed and how it was cohesive, we had a better project. The only project, in my opinion, that was better than that project, than the Immaculate Tape, is obviously that 21 Savage Drake album. Besides that, I
Her
haven't
loss.
heard anything really better as a project. No, I haven't. Not one.
Oh yeah, we was actually talking about that before we went live. He was asking me what I thought about it. I think you said it, and I agree. I think that's the album of the year. And Drake, I felt like he recorded that with a chip on his shoulder because a lot of people was trying to say he fell off. People been trying to get Drake out of here. Like Charlamagne, I remember when he said Drake not the hottest no more, now it's Lil Baby. And to an extent, that is true. But at the same time, like, nah, Drake still got it. Like, it's like how they try to push Tom Brady and LeBron out the league. It's like Drake still any given night he can give you the business. He could drop 30. You know what I'm saying? He's still, you know what I'm saying,
Drake that
largely in
boy.
charge.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
Drake
still
that
that
boy.
boy. And I think that he dropped honestly Nevermind for people that was overseas. He wanted to, have some club music. And I think he kind of just wanted to just like almost like because he had the new contract where is apparently worth over like $500 to $600 million.
The 600 mil, yep.
Yeah, he like, well, let me just drop this on their head real quick, give them some vibes for the summer. You know what I'm saying? Something to drink to, something you out of the country, you go to the island, something to vibe to. And it's like people was like, it's not what we wanted.
I mean, you
We
can
wanted
never make
scary
nobody
hours
happy.
straight.
You can never make everyone happy. Folks, you have to. I feel like with
I
music, you have to
love
be a
both of them.
tastemaker.
I loved honestly Nevermind. I went on a cruise with my wife this year to Bimini, to the Bahamas. I was definitely listening to that. And then I love Her Loss. He really snapped on that joint. But
What about
back
Certified
to
Lover Boy?
huh?
What about Certified
Oh,
Lover Boy?
Certified Lover Boy. I felt like I didn't think it was a bad project. I had some songs in there I really liked, songs that I love. But then it had some songs that it had too many skips for me, and it was too safe in my opinion. I felt like he was playing it safe. Like he just stuck to his formula. Like I'm gonna have a song that sound like this, a song that sound like that, and this works. So it like to me, Certified Lover Boy was almost like Views Part Two, almost like as far as the sound, you know what I mean? Where Views was like that was on a different level, but then it's like to get the same almost thing again, it's like okay, we heard this already. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just my take though. But
I felt like my only take with Certified Lover Boy was the fact that they moved it like 6 times, and I think
exactly.
by the time it came out, it just didn't hit the way it was supposed to hit. I also felt like it was like a throwaway COVID project, and then because even like Views, Scorpion, a couple of his other records, they really threw a bag behind the market. Like you could tell. Like I
I
remember I was
agree.
going on the Spades app, and all these records were all like the Scorpion shit was on the Spades app. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like it was a
Hmm.
throwaway project, and he did that because he understood during COVID there was a lot of people that was on their phone, and he just wanted to take advantage of that moment. And it helped him, pay his mortgage. He has one of the biggest houses in fucking Toronto. He has multiple properties all over the world, so I know that he
That's in
has
the
bills to pay.
states.
Yeah, yeah. So I felt like there's a business level to this whole shit too, and that people don't take consideration when it comes to this music.
No, I'm glad you said that because I'm actually going to take that and go on a tangent with it. Because here at Penny for Your Thoughts, we love to talk about business. So, at a Penny for Your Thoughts, I always like to encourage financial literacy. I always encourage people to invest in the stock market, specifically if you don't want to risk your money in single stocks. Invest in an ETF like the S&P 500. It gives returns of 8 to 11% a year. And by the
Mm-hmm.
way, this is not investing advice. This is entertainment. So don't try to come back and sue me because that's your disclaimer. But I always want to put my friends and my loved ones on to investing because it really can change your life and lead to generational wealth for your family. So with all that being said, are you invested in anything? Do you have any business ventures that you would like to discuss? Any maybe you selling merch or you could talk about how you plan on scaling, immaculate music and stuff like that. So tell me about any of that.
So funny enough, this is one of my I got blueprints. I got a blueprint.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You
but
got his
nah,
business plan.
yeah. I got multiple, but well, I could just touch on a couple of things that we're working on right now. So obviously,
Okay.
Talk Ain't Cheap Network, the podcast, right?
Right.
The goal starting around January, we're gonna start rolling out maybe 2 or 3 new shows. So there's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
my studio session. There's gonna be 51st Dates. We already recorded about 8 to 10 episodes of that, and then still Talk Ain't Cheap. So those are gonna be the 3 flagship um programs coming off of the network. Then obviously Immaculate Music. We're gonna we got an Immaculate Love project. So Immaculate Love is supposed to come out for Valentine's Day, but I might push it and scale. I might push it and not make it like an album. I might make it like an EP, 3 to 4 records, and then push My Favorite Place as a single. My Favorite Place is legit my favorite song to this day, and we have a lot of great records. Immaculate Tape is good. Kendall. I have listened to all of Kendall's projects and music. The album she just put out, the EP, that project was supposed to come out in around August 14th, August 8th, 2020. So for it to come out now, and Kendall's is her. Like Kendall's really that girl. So it's like, all right, well. So I listen to a lot
Mm-hmm.
of great music. I listen to all the James projects. James makes music. Every time I pick up my phone and go to my notes, there's a new song from James. So, I'm listening to a lot of good music. And for me, my favorite record to this day that I listen to is My Favorite Place. More so because I feel like there's a missing element of music that we're not hearing. And that missing element is like just feeling love, taking time. Like, like it's everything has always became real, like, like fuck you, fuck your mama, I'm a op, you a op, you gonna die. Like it got real dark real quick. And I feel
Right.
like someone needs to take a step back and really just say something that folks need to hear. And I think with My Favorite Place, that gave me that definitely did that. So what else we got going on? So that's that. So we got Immaculate Music, obviously Immaculate Clothing or Immaculate Drip. That's coming soon. Actually gonna start dropping merch next like week and a half, 2 weeks. God willing. I just gotta find time to go to my my
Word.
distributor
Right
and
on
all that
time for
stuff.
Christmas.
So we got that coming. What else we got going on right now? Like I said, Bros, my not-for-profit that focuses on Black mental health from the Black man's perspective. And we also give resources to people who need them. I've also been through a lot of mental health stuff. So, I feel like Bros is really important to me and to my partner, Derek Johnson. So we got Bros. We got our candles coming out. So Immaculate Scent, that's coming out soon. Those candles should be rolling out this week. But because of the holidays, a lot of the distribution of stuff took a little too long. So we got a bunch of candles coming out soon. What else is there? We got a lot of stuff. I ain't gonna lie. Like I got my own like think tank that I've been building up. I still
Mm-hmm.
host. I still MC. For those who know, I teach.
You had just through the Halloween party. How did that go?
The listener party, Halloween party went really well. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't the most profitable event I've ever done. I won't even pretend to say it was, but it was nice to be
Right.
able to do something in my city. Because a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
can't do stuff in their own city. You know what I'm saying? Like comfortably do something in their own city. So for me to be able to do something in my city with my friends and it actually be what it was and it was safe, it was comfortable, and it also benefited everyone who was invested in it or a part of it was Black. So like the
Word.
venue we used was Black. Um, you know, everyone who made money off it was like a person of color. And that's something I feel like I've been doing for a really long time that no one ever paid attention to. Like, and it's
Right.
not saying that I don't do business with white people and stuff like that. I just try to keep stuff within my community. Trying to think, is there anything else? I mean, and there's a lot of conversations on the table. I got, somebody wants me to be like the official brand manager and host of the travel company. We got to get a lot of that stuff ironed out. Yeah, I got Humble Fit still. There's a lot of stuff I'm working on, bro. I just stay myself busy,
That's
bro.
great, man. That's
Yeah,
great.
you
That's
can't
great.
do. We
You
building, bro.
working, man. You working it.
The money
It
not
sound
enough
like
right now.
fourth quarter in
Every fucking day for the
2023.
last 10
You got
years.
a lot of big things on the horizon.
Every day, bro.
Well, with that, man, I'm gonna wrap this conversation up, bro. It's definitely been a pleasure. You know what I'm saying? We got the holiday going on, so I definitely want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays all around. Y'all definitely, while y'all eating y'all turkey and y'all catch the itis, definitely give the tape a listen. It's the Immaculate Tape. You can check out my boy Cletus. Check out his IG. Give them your social real quick.
The Cletus Group on everything. Talk Ain't Cheap Network podcast. That's what that is. Yeah, if you want to get to know me personally and see me behind the scenes, Cletus_RealTalk on all the other socials. Yeah, I just do mad shit, bro. I do what makes me feel, bro, and I just continue to trust God, trust the process, and trust myself.
Facts. Yeah, and like I said, literally as soon as this video ends, I'm gonna go ahead and put the Immaculate Tape in my bio so y'all can easily access it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all give it a listen. Definitely look out for that song "Leaving with Me." You know what I'm saying? Got your boy
Can
in
we
there.
talk about those
Look out
last
for the
couple
whole
records
tape
before we
though.
go? Can we talk about
Oh
those
yeah,
last
yeah,
couple
yeah.
records before we go? So I wanted
All right.
to, because we didn't talk about the second half of the tape. We really stopped at, when James did his little interlude. And I know we don't want to give the whole tape away, but I feel like it's just only right because you're legit the first person to ever interview me as an artist and not like on the other side of me interviewing someone else. So after James's interlude, it goes into Final Flight. Like I said, Final Flight is produced by someone else named James III, who also had one of the last records, but also it was myself and my bro Femi that put out that record during COVID. And the thing that made Final Flight special was I was never going to put out Final Flight. Like never. Like if Femi didn't get excited and put a video together and post it without telling me, I was not putting that record out like anytime soon. So that was one of the first records that made me was like, all right, let me just do it. Then after Final Flight was After the Function. After the Function was
I like
DJ
that joint too.
Man, DJ Femi Rexon. And when I made that record, I want to say maybe last February. No, couldn't be last February. February of this year that just passed, of 2022. And I was in a really dark space, like really dark space. And at that time, I was trying to not so much prove myself to Femi that I could make music, because Femi was kind of like, he was looking for an artist to build with. And I was like, he was working with mad different artists. He was doing the amapiano. He's doing mad different sounds. I'm like, yo, let me just send me some stuff. So he sent me After the Function. I got that shit done like maybe a day and a half. Like I sent him the whole rough in a day and a half. Not even, probably less than that. And he was like, it was a good record. The visuals was going to really set it apart. I thought he was bullshit. Personally, I always think people be lying to me in my face. People really don't tell me, like I feel like people don't be as straightforward with me as they are with other people. So I thought he was just bullshit. And then, I heard it again, like probably a couple months ago, and I was like, this is actually not a bad record. So when I put it on, and it's actually a 4-minute long song, but we cut it in half. So it's After the Function, and that's After the Function Part 2 that's supposed to come out on Immaculate Love in February. So that's when I told you, like, these records, like, we had, like, 20-something records for this project, I'm not lying. Like, niggas had a lot of records, and I had to really scale back heavy with this project because it's the first project. Then After the Function was Leaving with Me. Because the premise of, first is the Final Flight. So we outside, we vibing. Then after the Final Flight, we go into the Function. After Function, we link in, and, we in the car now, she's leaving with me. Like, we out, we gone. And then after that, now you talking to the shorty, and that's when it goes into Company. So Company was special because Company basically was Kendall's record. And Kendall put it out before, but she took it down. I'm like, Kendall, that's probably one of my favorite records. So with Company, we did Company because, I said it best. I'm like, yo, Kendall, you're amazing. You're dope. And Kendall's like my sister, but she's like also like the girl that I probably talk to the most outside of like my family. So it's like, yo, Kendall, like sometimes it don't even be love. It don't gotta be sex. It don't gotta be nothing. Because Kendall's a beautiful woman, and a lot of men love Kendall, like her a lot. But like for me, it's just like sometimes you don't gotta be that. It could just be like company. So for me, if I actually want to name the record "Comfort Me," and I was gonna actually like do some underlining tones on the song, and I did a little mix and mastering on it, but I didn't do nothing too crazy. That's her record. So that's Company, and then after Company goes into London Drip. So London Drip is Sav J, and London Drip is a song we made in 2017. And she didn't like London Drip because, like I said, it wasn't mixed and mastered to the way she liked it. So we wasn't gonna put it out. But she trusted me, and like I said, she just like, fuck it, let's do it. And I was just with her in London during Notting Hill Carnival in August. So she was just like, all right, whatever, do what you want to do with it. And then I mixed and mastered it, and I actually added some stuff with it. And that's why it sounds a little more like fuller. It bounces a little bit different. There's an ambiance on it and all that. And then after that, so you got the two women, the first two ladies. We got two first ladies on Immaculate Music. So the two first ladies of Immaculate Music, they basically ripped it back to back. Like it was real male dominated, and then came through and changed the whole dynamic. And then after that was not the same, which was a song that Aaron makes, because Aaron actually is an instrumentalist. Like he actually plays pianos, keys, drums, guitar, and bass. So he made it as his own like abstract, music. And then from there, what I was able to do is I rapped on top of it. And then the original song was the second part. So the second part of Not the Same was the original song with that verse of Me and Your Man Not the Same, and you knew that. So no one mentioned me where he done like I ain't do that. Like that was Trap's beat. So shout out to my bro Trapson. And me and Trapson got like projects, and we've been trying.
My son is screaming.
Nah, you good, bro. You good, bro. We don't even hear it. We don't even hear it, to be honest.
Oh, okay. Y'all don't hear it.
Yeah, we don't even hear it. And then, like I said, so Trap, that was that. And then after Not the Same was Fourth Quarter Flow or Morning Flow. And that's the song that I probably listened to the most up until this project. So, like I said, James and me, we real locked in because we've been working on music. We make beats here. We do a lot of stuff. And like that Morning Flow to me was the soundtrack of the fourth quarter. I hope that shit wake you up, get you out of bed. Like, I needed to hear that shit every fucking morning to get up out of bed sometimes, because there was days I just did not feel like getting out of bed, and that's the thing that you're hearing. And sometimes, and what he's talking about, he's going through in real time. So that's the thing that makes him dope. And then, like you said, after that, Straka at the end, I just snuck that in there for the streets because I wanted to see if people would even appreciate it. And also, and this is my last thing, and after that we can wrap up, this was not a parody album, but it was like a ha 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 ha, we joking on you got an album. Like, we was laughing at niggas on this album. Like, that's why it was called, like, the intro was, like, called Impatiently Waiting, but it really was supposed to be called Laughing Gas. So when you hear, like, life is a dream, ha, 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 like, we laughing. Like, we laughing. Because sometimes people will make a joke out of your situation, or sometimes people will make it seem like shit is funny, or like up until like during your process, motherfuckers will be laughing at you, not knowing like, yo, you working. Like, niggas will be doing all this shit, traveling all these places, fucking on these women, living some type of lifestyle, and you chilling wearing the same outfit you've been wearing for the last year and a half, 2 years, not knowing that you've been doing that because you've been working. So it's like he who laughs, like it was like that whole thing. So it's like laughing gas. Like everyone's laughing, but now eventually like you're gonna have the last laugh, and you're just going to have to smile because it's going to be awkward for you. It's going to be awkward for you. Like, the success is going to be so magnificent, it's going to be big that, my bro, like, you're going to have to give me your fake smiles because we don't have to no more. Like, we never been doing that anyway. We never gave the fake smiles anyway. So for you, yeah, not for you per se, but for others that didn't even, like, a lot of niggas, I'm going to keep it real. I felt really listened to the album because they wanted to see if this shit was going to be trash. And that's why we said we've been impatiently waiting. While everybody was moving and doing and living at the height of their life, we've been always living at this baseline level. We always just vibing through the bullshit. So we never get too high, but we make sure we never get too low either. And that's what the fourth quarter flow is about. So, yeah, thank you so much for having me on your platform, bro. And that's what this whole
no problem, man. It's love. You already know, man. We go back. It's my brother, y'all. So, like I said, man, y'all check out the Immaculate Tape. Enjoy it over some of that Thanksgiving soul food, and to our Caucasian friends out there, enjoy it over your mashed potatoes with raisins. Yo, I love it. I'm
never taking it to go play home. How you think I'm never taking it to go play home? Only time I take to go play home for white people houses is just like
Thanksgiving, man, and
antipasto and fucking shrimp. Nah, I was gonna say the only time I take white people home is antipasto and shrimp, bro. If it's antipasta or like shrimp, vibes, little Italian for me, some baked ziti, I'll take it. Everything else,
right. But you know the face, you know the name.
Come on. Oh, I haven't said I forever.
Culture, man. Always for culture. Rest in peace. Take off. I'm saying a bunch of random stuff, but much love to my brother here, Cletus. You know what I'm saying? Much luck, much love to all your future ventures.
Thank you.
Y'all also be on the lookout for the Immaculate Love tape, as he said, is coming soon. So yeah,
It's a
we gonna
tough one.
tap back into, but yeah, man, y'all enjoy your holidays, and I'm gonna get out of y'all face. On that note, peace.
Yo, before you go,
Oh.
make sure that you tag me as a collaborator so that more people can see this. When you
Tag
exit
me.
out, yeah. So what you can do is when you exit out, and I don't mean to do this now, but when you
No, you
exit
straight, you
out,
straight.
you can
Press
when you were
X.
about to post it, now you exit out and you can post it. You can put like a picture on the front of it on the
Mm-hmm.
cover as a cover, so you can put the immaculate tape as the cover for that. And then after that, you can what else I gonna say? You when you tagging people, you can tag people in it, and then they say like you can add someone to collaborate with the post. So it's
Okay.
like invite and all that. So add me as a collaborator. It'll show up on my page, and then so more people can see it, and so more people can get more traction to it.
Got you. All right, I'm gonna do that right now.
Peace, my brother. Stay immaculate.
Peace.